Namaste, dear friends. This is Yogi Anand. Today, I wanted to share some knowledge and some thoughts about mindfulness meditation. Today, when I was practicing mindfulness meditation, some ideas, some thoughts came to my mind, and I wanted to share them with my friends. The core thing, the core idea, what I got during the meditation was the mindfulness meditation is being present in the present moment. We don't go into the past, nor we jump into the future. Rather, we flow with the present moments. And whatever happenings, whatever events are occurring presently, we just observe them. The nature of mind is to go into the past or into the future. This is the natural tendency of the normal mind. And therefore, during mindfulness meditation, one fights with oneself first. One controls oneself and one tries to remain in the present moments. In the present, one may experience the noise which is coming from outside. Or if one is practicing mindfulness meditation in a soundproof room or in a room where sound cannot travel into, then the next happenings one may feel, one may experience is one's thoughts in one's mind. So there are some inner phenomena which happen during mindfulness meditation when one practices in this very peaceful place, and their thoughts, emotions. In other words, the mental modifications, mental activities. The mindfulness meditation is practiced either with opened eyes or with closed eyes. If one practices mindfulness meditation with opened eyes, this is better to face the wall so that no visual things will be happening in front of the eyes. And one can practice the Trataka also, the wall gazing, without blinking of the eyes. One should gaze the wall. And by practicing this wall gazing, one can also feel the cessation of mind, the withdrawal of the mind and its behaviors. In either case, if one practices mindfulness meditation with closed eyes, then just after closing the eyes, one observes the thoughts are flowing in the mind. Thoughts may be stressful, frightening, or thoughts may be very attractive, very interesting, very loving thoughts. There are two types of thoughts. One can try to distract, one can try to go away from the thoughts which are negative, which are problematic, which may frighten oneself, which may give the stress to oneself. In that case, one tries to run away from such thoughts, or one tries to struggle with such thoughts. And in other case, second case, one observes the thoughts which are very enchanting, very interesting, And in this category of thoughts, one tries to get into them. One is easily swayed with such thoughts. One just get into them, into that flow. And these are two traps. These are two extremes. Neither run away nor get into the thoughts. Similarly, this is regarding the emotions also. If good emotions are coming, don't get into them. If bad emotions are coming, don't try to run away. Just try to observe. Try to practice the equanimity, the witnessing, just observation. Just try to observe as if you are watching a movie on the screen. So, this is just like watching the thoughts and emotions on the mental screen without getting into or just running away. No, just be with them, face them, and try to observe them without any detachment or attachment. And if you can practice this, which is very challenging, then you naturally automatically jump into the next level, which is you may feel the rapture, the joy, happiness, concentration. One can feel the physical sensations, the ease of the comfort of the body. One feels joy in the body. That joy is very physical, very sensual. That is the next level where these elements are present. Dynamic thoughts, then rapture, happiness, concentration. These elements one can observe in the next level of the mindfulness meditation. If one practices the witnessing, the observing nature, one automatically, naturally enters into the next level where one finds, experiences these four elements: dynamic thoughts, rapture, happiness, and concentration. Then later on, one transcends into the next levels and one reaches into the realm, into the sphere, which is called transcendental state, where there is no thought, no emotion, no phenomena whatsoever, just absolute silence, absolute peace. And during that moment, one feels bodiless, identity free being. One feels just as consciousness which is beyond gender, which is beyond any identity, which is beyond any terms, any names and forms. That is the state beyond names and forms. That is the final state of the mindfulness meditation. But in the beginning or in the middle, one confronts a lot of things where one has to keep control over oneself. One has to be very brave enough not to be attached nor to be detached. Just face them with courage, with perseverance, with patience. And after this phase of the meditation, one feels joy. One cannot feel the joy in the beginning only, but after crossing, after transcending the first phase, first plane, first level. And during the first level, one has to practice one more thing, which is very important, and that is whatsoever good thoughts, emotions, or ideas come during the meditation, one should not identify oneself with them. One should not call this that this is me or this is mine. In fact, there is nothing in the whole existence which can be termed, which can be called as this is me or this is mine. There is nothing, neither of this world nor of the either worlds or the invisible world. Nothing whatsoever of this visible or invisible world can be called as this is me and mine. This is what is called Vidya or Avidya. Vidya is not identifying oneself with anything. This is called Vidya. And Avidya is identifying oneself as oneself with anything. There is a sutra of Patanjali, Anityam, Ashuchi, Dukh, Anatmasu, Nitya, Shuchi, Sukh, Atmakhyati, Avidya. Patanjali has defined what is Avidya and what is Vidya, that is the opposite of that. First, he has defined about the Avidya, or means Avidya means not knowing the truth, not realizing the reality, not understanding the reality or the truth. That is called Avidya. And what is not realizing the truth? What is ignorance? What is not understanding the reality? That is considering permanent or happiness or purity or the soul in the things which are impermanent, which are impure, which are sufferings, and which are anatman, or not the self. First is anityam. Whatsoever is anityam or impermanent should not be considered as permanent. If any impermanent things are considered as permanent, that is called avidya. Similarly, if any impure thing is called as or is considered as pure, that is also avidya. So also this is about the sukham. One should not understand, one should not take sufferings as happiness. Buddha has clearly defined there are different kinds of sufferings: birth, decay, death, sorrow, lamentation, pain, grief, despair. These are 8 kinds of sufferings. These are 8 sufferings should not be considered as happiness. Birth is not happiness. Spending life, decaying is not happiness. Death obviously is not happiness. Sorrow, lamentation, pain, grief, despair, these are sufferings. So these stuff cannot be considered as happiness or the source of happiness or the place of happiness. And whatsoever is mortal or is decaying, is transient, is not pure. Whatsoever is being deceased, is being decaying, is being dying, should not be called as the pure. They are impure. This body is impure, but the essence which is living in this body, which is making this body as live, is pure, which is called prana tattva. So long there is prana in this body is not smelling, this body is not infectious, this body is pure. So there is prana which makes this body as pure. But this body itself is not pure. There are a lot of impurities in this body. But if one practices pranayama, one increases prana tattva in one's body, then the odor falls, bad smells of the body, of the urine, of the stool is not felt. So the yogis' bodies are very pure because yogis are filled with prana tattva. Therefore, they live long and they live very, very vibrant. So prana tattva is considered as pure, but the other stuff, other indriyas, senses of this body itself is considered as impure. And the fourth element is called Atman. So an Atman should not be considered as Atman. Anatman. What is Anatma? Anatma means that which cannot be called this is me. So this body cannot be called this is me. And this is very clearly described by Adi Shankaracharya. Mano buddhi ahankar chittadi naham nacha srutra jihve nacha ghana netre nacha vyoma bhumir na tejo na vayu chidananda rupa shivoham shivoham. Na punyang na papam na sokhyang na dukkhang na mantrang na tirthang na veda na yagya ahang bhojanang naiva bhujyang na bhukta chidananda rupa shivoham shivoham. न मे राग द्वेषो न मे लोभ मोह मदो नैव मे नैव मात्सर्य भाव न धर्मो न चार्थो न कामो न मोक्ष चिदानंद रूप शिवोहम शिवो न मे मृत्यु शंका न मे जाति भेद पिता नैव मे नैव माता न जन्म न बंधुर न मित्रम गुरु नैव शिष्य चिदानंद रूप शिवोहम शिवोहम. All this stuff cannot be called as this is me. Nothing, no parts of this body. Man, buddhi, ahankar, chit. Man is mind, buddhi, intellect. Ahankar, ego, chit, consciousness. Prana tattvas, even itself. Even the prana tattva also cannot be called this is me. Nahang prana sangyo, na cha panchavayo, na va saptadhatu, na va panchakosha. All these parts are found in this body. They are not one soul. Then dharma, arth, kama, moksha. These four things are also not called as oneself. Na punyang na papam, na punya, na pap. Means neither the merits or the good karmas nor the sins. Punya na pap. Sukh dukh. Neither happiness nor sorrow. No Vedas can be considered as oneself. No tirth, no pilgrimages, no sacred places can be called as oneself. Neither Kailas nor Kashi nor Kava. No place can be considered as oneself. No lokas. Then whatsoever is born, na me mrityu shanka, na me jati bheda, whatsoever is born is subject to death, die. Whatsoever is born. Whatsoever comes in the existence is bound to pass away. So such things cannot be called as oneself. Mrityu shanka, jati bheda, Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudras. No me mrityu shanka, no me jati bheda, pita naiv me naiv mata na janma. Neither father nor mother. Na bandhu na mitram, nor kinsmen, nor friends, nor foes. Guru naiv shishya, neither master nor disciples. None of them can be called as oneself. Then what can be called as oneself? Adi Shankaracharya clearly describes. Aham nirvikalpo nirakar rupo. I am nirvikalp, the state which is beyond thoughts. Asampragyat, nirvikalp. This is what is called nirvikalp or asampragyat samadhi by Sri Patanjali. So that state of consciousness is only one's soul, one's real self. Nirvikalpam, aham nirvikalpam, nirakar rupo, formless state, nameless state. Vibhur vyapt sarvatra, sarvendriyani. The all-pervading one, all-pervading essence, omnipresent. Vibhur vyapt sarvatra. That is called omnipresent. that which is omnipresent. Nowhere is lackness, nowhere is lacking. That which is present everywhere only is one's real self. Aham nirvikalpo nirakar rupo vibhurvyapta sarvatra sarvendriyani. Even there is essence which is pervading in all the senses of the body. Na muktir na bandha means neither bondage nor liberation. Aham nirvikalpo nirakar rupo vibhurvyapta sarvatra sarvendriyani. Sadame samatvam na muktir na bandha chidananda rupa shivoham shivo. This perfect equanimity, neither this side nor that side. There is no duality. There is perfect advaitam, non-duality, oneness. And for such thing, there is neither bondage nor liberation. So you or me or the consciousness is never in bondage. This is just an imagination that I'm in the bondage and I need liberation, I need emancipation. There is due to ignorance. You, me, everyone is always free. This is our ignorance, this is our misconception that we are in the bondage and we need liberation from the cycle of birth and death. Nothing is in control of anyone. Everything is free. Everything is passing. Nothing can be resisted, nothing can be controlled by anyone. Even by any yogi also. Everything is free. Everything is in flux. Everything is in transience. Everything is transient. Everything is free. Flowing freely without any possessiveness. One cannot possess to the body that this is me, to the mind this is me, nor to spouse, nor to any kids, children, nothing, nor property, nothing. So this life is free, this life is flowing freely. This was never in the bondage. That is why, says Shankaracharya, says that I'm not in the bondage. I'm always free. I'm always Chidananda Rupa, Shivoham Shivoham. I'm always Satchit Anand. I'm always existence, truth, bliss, and Shiva, or the Paramatman. Thanks. And that state is reached through mindfulness meditation, Chaitanyam Dhyanam, Chaitanya Dhyan. If one practices conscious meditation, mindfulness meditation, or the meditation where one remains in the equanimity, one reaches to that ultimate state, to that reality, to that one's real self. Thanks. Namaste. Again, I'll share the knowledge, my study and experiences about one's life, mindfulness, mindful living, conscious living, spirituality, true yoga, mindful yoga, meditation, enlightenment, and enlightened life. Thanks. Namaste. Stay tuned. Bye.